What's up, you guys? This is Andre. Today I'm here with Kelvin J Studios. We will be testing out the auto tracking and auto focusing of the Canon 17-40 and the Sigma 18-35. So let's get it popping and let's see how all of this turns out today.
What up, though, YouTube? It's your boy Kelvin J, and you guys heard it from my boy Andre. We're going to be going over the Canon 17-40, and we'll also be going over the 18-35 Sigma. So let's get into that Canon first. All right, guys, so here we are shooting on 4K, 24 frames per second. We got the shutter at 125, and the f-stop's at 4. We're shooting on the wide 17mm. Let's see how this goes here. As you can see, the background, everything's pretty much in a deep focus here. Oh yeah, don't forget to subscribe. Coming around the side, you can see it's still tracking him very well. As you can see, we saw a little blur there. A little bit of blur coming in fast. Coming in fast once again. Back in focus, not too bad for the Canon. Seems to be tracking him well here. Coming around the backside. So as you guys can see in the wide view, it seems to be tracking very. Oh, we got a little blur here. Back in focus there. About 2 seconds or so it took to track on him there. Now we got the 4K still, 24 frames per second, 125 on the shutter, f4, 17mm wide, but this time I have the Cine style, so we're shooting flat, and this is a custom color grade that I put on it. Earlier we were shooting in neutral with the same color grade as well, put on it as well, but it was in neutral. So this one's a little more flat. This is better. You're gonna get a better color grade here. As you can see, the focus is still tracking pretty well. And this is pretty good for autofocus, guys. Autofocus has definitely come a long way. If you guys would like to see me do a video on manual focus, how to track your subject while in manual, no autofocus, no auto tracking, go ahead and comment below. Let me know what you guys think. You guys gotta go follow this guy, man. This guy's amazing. 6 underscores, Cell, C-E-L-L, another 6 underscores. It would be in the link. It would be a link in the description below. Make sure you guys hit that. Follow this guy right here. He's an amazing, talented, really good friend of mine. As you can see, I was playing with some of the color grades. Now, as you notice, some of these shots are a little shaky. I did not put a a serious warp stabilizer on them, or I didn't stabilize it in After Effects or anything. This is just straight on the Ronin, and also I did not have the Ronin properly fully balanced either, so some of these shots will be a little shaky. The gold's hitting nice off his hair, the highlights on his face. You can see it's going in and out of focus there, kind of capturing the trees in the background. And as we come around the front, we see him get back in focus there. As you can see, it's losing focus a bit there. So overall, the Canon's not doing too bad. Canon could be It'd be amazing if it was a little better, but once again, guys, 4 or 5 years ago, you could not get autofocus like this. So this is actually really, really good. Shooting in 1080p slow-mo, 60 frames per second. You want to make sure your shutter is always double, so we have it at 125. Here it seems to track very well all the way around the circle here. Lost focus a little bit there. Now we're back at it. Not too bad for the Canon. The Canon 17 to 40. Real clean there coming around the back. Trees in focus there. He's out of focus, and there we go. He's coming into focus here. Oh, still losing him. Back on him. Not too bad.
Alright guys, that was the Canon 17 to 40. Now we're going to go ahead and cover the Sigma. Let's go ahead and see what that's like.
Alright guys, now we're back on the Sigma. In my opinion, the Sigma already looks amazing compared to the Canon. The sharpness looks a lot better. The overall image just looks more pleasing in my opinion. Here I bumped into the chair. It's always good to have a spotter, guys, when you're on set. Stepping on wet grass, tripping and stumbling. It's a little shaky. Make sure you always stay with your Ronin. When you're shooting for a client, ensure your Ronin is stable and smooth before you go on the set. It's a pretty good track there. Now, the Sigma was actually surprising me. I actually thought the Canon was going to do better, but you guys comment below what you think. But in my opinion, you can clearly see that the Sigma looks way sharper, a lot cleaner. Balenciaga. A lot better here. Once again, we got Muse Andre, aka Cell, doing his thing here in 4K, 24 frames per second, 30 millimeters on the Sigma. Once again, don't mind all the shakiness and wildness. It's really rushing with these shots. But overall, the autofocus tracking is really, really good. Look at that, coming in close, still focused on them. Now with manual focus, you could not do that, guys. Unless you're, you know, pulling focus or something like that, but just manual on its own, fixed with no one pulling focus or anything. You can't go far away and just come zooming in up close. This is one of the things I really love about the autofocus. When you're shooting your slow-mo, you want to remember to have your shutter double the frames per second, and post-production, what I like to do is bring it back down to 24 frames per second, 23.97. So that way you you know, you get the proper smooth slow-mo. You can see here the lighting here, the color grade here, everything looks pretty well in this shot. His face is nicely exposed, and this is really good for natural light, guys. This isn't no artificial lighting here. It's ideal to have some good setup lights as well, but we're just working with the straight natural light. I think it came out pretty well. Coming over the top of him here, clean focus on his face there. Keep in mind, if you're having any issues with your autofocus, to check your sensor. Sometimes your sensor might be a little dirty, a little dusty. And what that can do is, if your sensor is a little dusty, it can cause some issues with the auto tracking feature. So be mindful of that. Be cautious if you decide to clean it yourself. Here we're in 720p. I have it doubled to 250 on the shutter because we're shooting in 120 frames per second. So this is what some people would call an extreme slow-mo. As you can see, it's not in focus here, coming around. And it was getting a little darker around this time at night. Here it's not focused on him or the trees. I don't know what it's focused on right now. It's fighting, still not in focus. This is most likely due to it being darker outside and me having the shutter on 250, so it was really a lot darker here. Also, I didn't shoot any of this with an ND filter. That's another very, very important thing, is to be sure of having an ND filter. As you can see, my background is a little blasted, a little overexposed in some of these shots. If I would have had my ND filter on there, I would have been able to get the background perfectly exposed and hopefully still maintain some good lighting on him as well. But for it not to have an ND filter, I think it came out pretty well. Once again, we are shooting on the Canon Mark IV, the 5D Mark IV.
Alright guys, I hope you guys enjoyed that video on the Canon and the Sigma lens. I appreciate my boy Andre coming out to help today as a muse. I hope you guys enjoyed those slow-mo shots. Me personally, I think the Sigma came out a little better, but you guys let me know in the comments what you thought about that yourself. And also, links will be in the description below on where you can purchase these different lenses if you want to get them yourself.
Make sure you leave a comment below. Let us know how we did. Let us know how you feel about the lenses. Hit that like and subscribe button. And we should be coming back to you with some more dope videos soon. Yeah. And stay tuned.
2019 going hard.
Hey. That better be fucking it.